Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very welcome to Marketing Studio Singapore for this series of the Marketing Guru Talk. Okay, today it is indeed our honor to have Mr. Chio Ming Shen, okay, CEO and founder of Nuffnang, to join us for this session. Okay, before we begin, just a few announcements. First, I think for your safety, the emergency exit is just right behind you on the left and right. Okay, in case of emergency, just follow the instructions from our staff here. Okay, next, I believe all of you have a folder with you. Okay, we actually have all our programs, some of the upcoming events that we actually put inside. So do take a look, as well as we have actually have a membership brochure over here. Do note if any of you all tonight who sign up, we will actually give you a 50% discount off the entrance fee tonight. Okay, so this is what we can offer you tonight. Okay, one last thing, very important. I believe all of you have a mobile device. Okay, we have our official Facebook, Marketing Institute of Singapore. Take out devices now, go to the page and like the page now. Because for now we are at 970. So I believe if all of you here going to like it, we'll hit 1,000 tonight. Okay, so we will look forward to that. Thank you very much. Okay, before I begin, then now introduce also our moderator for this evening, Mr. Roger Wang. Mr. Roger Wang is the Honorary Secretary of MIS, as well as the Chairman of the MIS Membership Committee. So I will now hand over to him to lead the session. Do note that this session, there's no slides, nothing. Okay, it will be very purely a very interactive session. If you have any question along the way, you can raise your hand, and I believe Nick will more than willing to help you with the answer. Okay, so I'll hand over to Roger now. Roger.
Hi, very good evening. My name is Roger. So I believe Dennis has given a very short intro on me. Now I'm going to open up another channel to you guys, just in case for those that are too shy to ask any questions. I'm going to give you my mobile number. You can always message me if you want. Okay? Just take note of it. It's 86861668. Quite a nice number though. Okay, I'm not going to go back the session. So without further ado, I want you guys to perhaps help me in giving a round of applause for our speaker this evening, Mr. Wang.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's begin. Mr. Chiu, if I do pronounce it correctly, or I should call you Ming.
Yeah, sure.
Tonight.
Be cash.
Okay, so we're going to make it as casual as possible. So, Mr. Ming, Nuffnang has turned 6 years. This year. So perhaps you can start by just giving us a summary on the story behind Nuffnang and what does your company do?
Okay. So how many of you actually have heard of Nuffnang before? Wow, not bad, huh? Wow, okay, I'm quite happy now. Yeah, so I guess a lot of people here know what Nuffnang is, but I'm just going to explain it again. The idea was born in London. I studied in London with my business partner, and we needed to do a business. And what he said was, he came out with the idea. His name is Timothy, and he's based out of Malaysia. He said, listen, there are so many bloggers out here in the world, just generally. And bloggers, what is the definition of a blogger? A blogger is simply an independent publisher. So any one of you could be a blogger, right? Okay, and I mean, nowadays you stretch the term and you say Instagram, am I a blogger? No, you're not actually. Okay? So we're talking about long form blogs. So there were a lot of bloggers out there, and they just weren't getting any advertising revenue. They weren't getting any means to sustainably continue or pursue their path as a blogger. So what we thought, and one of the reasons why was because individually they were just too small, number one. And secondly, they just didn't have the clout to go and approach advertisers. So what Nuffnang is we are a platform. We amalgate all the bloggers. I mean, in my vision, we amalgate all the bloggers of the world, and we can actually push out advertising on their blogs and give them an income stream. So we actually provide a platform for advertisers to advertise on, but also for bloggers to actually earn an income. But beyond that, we've moved on as well. I mean, a lot of what we do, and when we started the platform, we realized it's not just about banner advertising, even though that's a very important part of it. Like, it's also a lot of social engagement, because bloggers are people and they are creative, and they come out with a lot of creative outcomes. So that's basically what we do. So we're lucky to have kind of like grown and to the state that we are today. We have about 1 million bloggers in the region now, and hopefully that will continue to grow, and I think it will.
Okay, great. So you have 1 million bloggers, but I think during the kickoff period, that's your initial period, started in February 2007. You started off with only a modest of 20 bloggers, and within 3 days, you have 300 bloggers joining you. So perhaps you can share with us what are your strategy in attracting these bloggers?
Obviously, we have a strategy, right? But for any budding business person here or anything like that, to understand the success of Nuffnang, which I have gone through in my head hundreds of times, I think it still comes down to a lot of luck. Because we, as much as a lot of people may have thought that at that point blogging was kind of like no longer a fad, it was dead. In 2006, a lot of people thought this already, yeah. In actual fact, it wasn't, and it was a product that the bloggers really wanted. So what happened was that we went out and we hit the ground running, and we went to blogging events, and we met individual bloggers and we sold them our story. I think altogether we met about maybe just 30 or 40 bloggers. But those 30 or 40 bloggers spread the word, right? And other bloggers joined, and very quickly, our server bulked under the weight. And beyond that, as the story grew and grew, right, more people knew of this avenue, and so it was something that other people thought was dead, but in actuality wasn't. Even today, like a lot of you might start thinking, hey, blogging is dead, right? No, it's not. But it's just been overshadowed. When you hear Facebook, when you hear Instagram, when you hear all this other stuff, right? You're just like, okay, flavor of the week, let's just go on to the next thing. But does that mean the market does not exist anymore? No, it doesn't. So we're lucky to come in at that point of time, and the bloggers really spread the word, and there was a real need. And so, it quickly grew.
Okay, great. Next question will be, you have 300,000 bloggers, registered bloggers in Malaysia, and close to 1 million stretching across Philippines, Australia, Thailand, and Singapore. First and foremost, how do you manage to reach out to so many bloggers from all over the world? And what are your selling pitch?
Okay, some of them we bought, right? So about 400,000 bloggers we bought. How do we buy? Basically, I looked at it and said, okay, to grow, we need to start looking at blogging platforms. See, there are a lot of blogging platforms in other countries, Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam. Actually, there are a lot of local players. But they have blogging platforms, but these blogging platforms do not make money. They don't know how to make money, but I do, right? I know how to reach out to advertisers. I know how to create compelling campaigns, right? So to grow the thing, part of it was actually buying up networks, so mergers and acquisitions. But beyond that, of course, it was organic growth. A lot of it was really organic. It went crazy, lah. For the first 3 or 4 years, it really rose from 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. I mean, got bored of counting the milestones. When they had 100,000, we were like, okay, 100,000. We were like, oh, celebrate, then 110, 120, 130, okay, 200, nothing happened already. 300, nothing happened. 400, nothing happened. You get what I'm saying? So even 1 million, we didn't celebrate. Today I think the sky's the limit as well, because there's still a lot of bloggers out there, and we just haven't tapped them. For example, Indonesia as a market which we're not in right now. How many bloggers are there? And bloggers will always continue to come out. Why? If you're a housewife, you've got nothing to do, you will start a parenting blog. Right? If you are, a craft blogger, you might want to start a craft blog. Fashion blogging, a lot of bloggers are female now from our experiences also. So I think they want to, exploit their passions, and blogging is kind of like the new writing a book, right? Immediately you can start.
Okay, the demographic of Nuffnang. So what are the demographic that Nuffnang is catering to, and the type of audience that you are aiming to reach out to?
We don't aim to reach out to anybody, because what we do is we aim to reach out to the bloggers, and the bloggers reach out to people, but then we capture what the demographics of the blogs are, and then we sell it accordingly to the bloggers, to the customers, to the clients. We tailor it according to the audience of the blog. And how we do that is, first of all, we ask questions to the bloggers. That's one part. But the second part is also we have a technology in which we actually display a poll on the blog, and it collects information about who is reading. But beyond that, we also have a normal statistic counter, which will tell us how many people go in, and where they come from, how they came in, which browser they are on. So we have a lot of statistics. It's a wealth of information. I think going online, data is the key. Yeah. So we use a lot of data.
So do you sort of consider yourself also a talent management company?
Definitely. One of the things that I saw when it was about a year or 2 years back, I think 2 years back, I think we pioneered this program. We pioneered a program called the Talent Management Program. And the reason being is that we realized that we had educated the market, and advertisers were very interested in bloggers, but then they were not interested in paying bloggers. They were interested in simply using them for free. So we realized that if we didn't do anything about it, that would be bad. So we captured them, and I looked at the model of a talent management agency, just like an actor or an actress, right? And we actually nurture them. We sign them on a contract. So the top bloggers are all signed onto contracts across Asia, across every single country that we have. Okay, we have exclusive bloggers that are signed up with us and are obligated to actually refer commercial contacts to us. Does that mean that they're no longer free to write whatever they want? No, it does not. For the PR people here, for example, they say, Nuffnang is a big bad wolf, for example. No, we're not a big bad wolf. But you have to understand how PR works if you're a PR person, which means if you're a PR person and you are trying to approach on grounds of PR, then the person or the blogger has to be interested in it, right? So if the blogger is interested in it, they're free to blog about it for free. That's what I tell my bloggers all the time, right? So if, let's say, I'm a BlackBerry fan, BlackBerry approaches me, right, and I've been approached by BlackBerry, I actually am part of a program to help them blog, and I'll do it because I like the brand, I identify with it, identify with what it's saying. So it's free. I'll do it for free. But it cannot be that you do it for free for BlackBerry today, tomorrow you do it for Samsung, the next week you do it for another brand. You see where I'm going? Ultimately, that's not how PR works. If these brands want to reach out to this blogger, then they have to engage it through marketing.
Now, for them to be motivated, certainly there are certain reward systems that they have put in place. So perhaps if you can share with us your way of rewarding them. And next questions will be, perhaps it's a bit sensitive in nature. There are views that that you are harvesting on such bloggers. So what is your view on this?
Harvesting. Okay, let me do the harvesting question first, because that one sounds interesting. It's like I'm some sort of matrix. Then we